Exit question, two-part question, forced prediction. Will the Bitcoin ETFs actually purchase the underlying asset? Will they buy the Bitcoin? And second, will they prove that they hold the Bitcoin? Dan Eve.
Well, I think it would be a big selling point, right? So if one of these, there's two Bitcoin ETFs. Is it two now? There's two.
I have two
So
right now, at least
two right now, yeah.
3 or 4 by next week. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely going to be a selling point if someone's deciding where to put their money. If one of them declares that they're actually going to buy Bitcoin and actually hold it, then that's going to make a big difference in people's buying decisions. But I think personally, it would be ludicrous not to buy the Bitcoin. Why just track it? Why not why not get your hands dirty or not dirty? Get them orange, orange them up in your Bitcoin and go. These people they must be Bitcoiners, right? Creating a Bitcoin ETF, they must believe in the ethos of having your private keys. They wouldn't go through all that effort just for profit, would they? I hope not. But they should buy the Bitcoin. So yeah, buy the Bitcoin, hold the Bitcoin, and be a part of the real story.
Imagine the evil bankers in their distant towers cackling and laughing. We can sell a whole ETF without owning the underlying asset. We don't have to buy anything. We can take all their money. Josh Shigala, will their evil plan work? Will they buy it? Will they prove it?
I think most people that are intelligent will buy the underlying asset. I mean, this is as the walls of Rome are collapsing around these banks, the cracks are just getting larger and larger and larger, and it's if you're stacked on a system that is based on nothing, literally on credit scores, and most people don't even give a crap about their credit score anymore, especially if they've got Bitcoin, then and everything starts collapsing, then we'll see what happens. And even Russia has now stated that they are looking at. We did a segment. I'm not sure a new show about this. Is like they're trying to have a look at if Russia might hold some of it, and they're slowly de-USDing. So by de-USDing, you've got to look at that, and Bitcoiners start to get this. This is why America goes to war to protect oil trades being settled in USD, is because it needs a use case. It's like when Tesla dropped Bitcoin, the price tanked because everyone's like, oh, the use case, oh, it's gone. Maybe it's not, maybe a lot of it's psychological as well, but generally that's what happens. Less use cases, less value, especially for fiat, who doesn't even have the store of value function. And so I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but the fact of the matter is that that there's a lot of things happening. These ETFs are kind of for the established area starting to own rare assets. Countries are starting to own rare assets. They're moving away from this nonsense of buying other people's debt or other people's fiat, because that's what fiat actually represents, is debt. And so let's see what happens.
Oh, it's perfect. You're just tracking this old conservative investing nonsense. We all know that in a period of crisis, it's perfectly natural for the more timid elements to run for cover. The modern model is Facebook is a publisher with no writers. Uber's a car company with no cars. We should have a Bitcoin ETF with no Bitcoin. You don't even need to buy the underlying asset. The question is so powerful, it's driven Martine from the room. Oh no, there he is. He's back. Martine, will they buy the Bitcoin? Will they prove that they bought the Bitcoin? It's very quiet.
Your video disappeared and came back for a second there.
Correct. Probably need to switch the.
There it is.
It's quiet though.
There it is. We can hear you now, but it's quiet.
Same
Oh, there we go. That's good. That's good.
Okay, I'm not sure if it's even illegal to run an ETF and not buy the underlying asset. So honestly,
more traditionalism, laws, legal, recommended.
Yeah,
Think about how much money we could make if we don't buy the Bitcoin.
They might get caught with their pants down, I think, because if people start asking questions and they don't have the asset, they might not be able to buy it back because the price went up. So I do hope they.
But if you look at ETFs like, the one that's come out already is all cash settled, right? So even if there's a run on the ETF, doesn't really matter. You're just settling contracts. The underlying asset doesn't need to be there. So this is the fraud that we as Bitcoiners wanted to get away from, and so a lot of us cheering on in these ETFs are, I think, a little bit blindsided by what could happen to the price.
So Josh, what you're implying or saying is that basically those ETFs introduce fractional banking to Bitcoin then?
Yeah, for sure. And then you can get to the point where these become so large that the tail wags the dog, because suddenly there's a scare in the market and the ETF tanks, or the futures tank, and it basically pushes Bitcoin down, even though there's no real tether to the real Bitcoin. The psychological tether is there. It's kind of like stocks as well. Some stocks, the company has nothing, they give no dividends, but because they're doing well, the stock price will go up, yet there's no real connection, really. It's kind of a name, like, oh, I'm buying, XYZ stock because their balance sheet is good, but the stock doesn't have anything really to do with it.
Oh, then I wouldn't want to invest my pension money in one of those ETFs. It's like, participating in a scam.
Yeah. I mean, literally, that's why Occupy Wall Street was out the front begging, "Oh, please, government, give us change." And it's like, stop begging, stop your begging. Build something better. And just screw those guys. What do we need them for? We build our own.
They have built something better. They've built scams on top of scams on top of scams. No one will ever figure